Hello, everyone, and welcome back to State of the Season. It's winter 2018. This is our technical first episode. We've watched 3 episodes of every single show we're watching this season. And obviously, it's a little late. Most shows have 4 episodes at this point. I was on vacation. Sorry. Thought I might get it done beforehand. Didn't. My bad, everyone. But I'm here now, and we're going to go over our 6 shows, talk about their first 3 episodes now, and where I think they're at the real start of the season once we can make an actual judgment call. Our first show is Sorayori Motoi Basho. I said with the first episode that it had potential with a great staff, and I wanted to see where it would go. We definitely now are getting closer to what I think it can be. There was a lot of setup in these first 3 episodes, and it was kind of getting towards the real adventure, but now we have all the characters, so I think we're actually going to start getting the meat of it. Maybe it's already out there with the episodes I haven't watched yet, but at least we know that we're getting somewhere. There was a scene at the end of episode 2 where they were all running throughout the city, and I felt a little forced when it first started happening, but by the end, it was really beautiful and fun and well done, and you can tell that there's a lot going into the writing of this show. It's not just throwaway comedy moments. You actually got a lot of character stuff from all these times. I am a little nervous that they might get too many characters involved with all those older people that also are going to go to Antarctica. Seems like there's just too much going on, maybe. K-On! Was great because it really focused on just a few characters. Sure, there were side characters, but even they got a ton of great development. I don't want to go in the route where there's too much going on and we're not going to get to focus. Hopefully, Antarctica can still keep the focus on the 4 main girls. Speaking of 4 main girls, that new girl, Yuzuki, instantly best girl. Oh my gosh, I loved her so much. She's so cute. Really liked what her story was. And now that they're all together, it's the actual adventures finally going to start. It looks so promising. I'm really excited for it. So this show, definitely on a good start. I think it can only get better with the quality of the writing so far. And now for something completely different, we have Citrus. Oh my gosh. As I predicted, it's as trashy as we thought it possibly could be, and then it gets even worse. You know, it isn't rapey. It's just rape at this point. It's not even, implying it. It is just sexual assault. And it's gross, and it's not okay, the end of that. If they don't reveal that the black-haired girl has been sexually abused for a long time, there will be zero justification for any of the stuff that happens in the show. I could see it if the story was about her being sexually abused, and that's how she expresses things. That's how people actually work in those situations. That could be interesting. Trashy that we have to see it, but interesting. But you know what? What are the odds that's going to happen? I'll be shocked if it does. I might even say it's a good show at that point. But it's probably not going to. Probably won't be a good show. The end. And we actually came so close in episode 3 to not having any rape. It was almost a good episode about a complex relationship. But then in the end, it had to happen. This time it subverted our expectations because the other girl was raping the girl who usually rapes her. So, is it better that the rape is no longer one-sided? 2 wrongs don't make a right. It's still bad no matter who's raping who. No one should rape anyone. Citrus shouldn't exist. The end. Just as disappointing as Darling in the Franxx, you probably already saw Best Guy Ever's video on it. I haven't yet because I wanted to do this first, but it seems like he's disappointed with it too. Anyone I've talked to has seemed disappointed with it. I'm not a mecha genius. The only thing that I find unique about the show that's cool is the mecha designs. They're really different, and I actually find that quite refreshing. So that's some cool stuff, at least. I have a lot of notes as random things, so I like the way the mechas are designed. I hate in mecha and action shows when they use English words that have no meaning for the cool thing, like darling and stammen. I guess there's some metaphor in that, but it's still dumb and I don't like it. I hate that they pilot in doggy style. It's not deep, it's just weird fan service. Don't think for a second that there's anything but, hey, look at our sex here. That's all it is, I promise you. It feels like they're trying to use environmental storytelling with these really big places that seem to have a lot going on, but I find them really kind of bland, and I don't know what they're trying to tell me, so I'm not learning anything. You can't just have cool-looking things and then put characters there and expect us to get something from that. It really has to weave together into one narrative. The most intriguing thing is how Zero Two kills her partners, but there's so much stuff getting in the way of that. Like, it's 3 episodes, and we had so much stuff besides that. It's it's tough to get to that meat that could be interesting. And our main character literally has done nothing besides 2 minutes of the first episode, and that's really tough to get through too. I'm hoping now things are going to pick up because it seems like they'll put the main character with Zero Two finally. But like, oh my gosh, it's been a rough 3 episodes. Frankly, I'm so disappointed for what I thought this could have been. After that, we have Koe wa Ameyagari no Yoni. I got torn apart in the comments. Well, not torn apart. I don't have enough attention on me to tear me apart. But in the comments, people tended to want a more positive spin on this. And I'll admit, I like it a lot more after the first 3 episodes. I'm still not sure if the character designs are supposed to be ironic. Some of them are a little ridiculous, and it doesn't feel like the kind of comedy show where that would really work. And it is getting funnier. It's still hit or miss with the humor, but it is getting more hits, so that's something. I'm just not sure if the character designs really fit into the sometimes serious. They really have to define better, I think, what they're going for. There's so many moments where there's just no talking at all between characters or even just one character, and you know how much I'm a sucker for that. So I'll always love when we can get story and narrative and character development from absolute silence. So it's obviously being directed really well, and that's a start. So we actually got closer to the exploration of damaged psyches that I hope the show is going to be. We're getting a little bit of our main girl. We're getting a little bit of the manager. We're getting into their heads. We're going to start seeing how this relationship works, because obviously both of them are aware, at least the manager's aware, she's kind of there, that it's not exactly normal. So we're going to hopefully start learning about that a little bit and really get the headspace that I wanted this show to be about. So fingers crossed that this one continues to improve for me. Gakuen Babysitters, one of my favorites from the first episode, got a little weird this season. You know, it's one of the shows where there's nothing special, but the cuteness will always be entertaining and fun. It's not high art, but the enjoyment is good. That's what I said upon starting the second episode, but then things got kind of weird. There was a random pedophile high school kid, and I was joking that the season really is about messed up relationships. Just didn't expect that to be in Gakuen Babysitters, of all things. And then there was an estranged father in the one after that. Maybe this show is actually going to be the one that explores the deep topics. We don't need Koe wa Amegari no Yoni to take care of that. Let that be the comedy. Gakuen Babysitters is going to be some heavy shit, I'm telling you. There's not much else to say about that one. I'm kind of joking in that way. I don't actually think it's going to be like that. It's just fun, and that's it. There's not a whole lot to analyze, so we'll just move on from there. Our final show, as you know, is Violet Evergarden. My first note is this is adorably depressing, and it really is. Violet is so cute, and all the character designs are great. It's so good to look at, but oh my gosh, this show is so sad. And it's great, but oh my gosh, it's just a chore on my heart. It's so intriguing, and I have no idea what direction this is going to go in. This could be about her just being an auto-memoir doll for the whole show, and it'd be awesome, and learning about people and how that works. It could end up being an action show with the war coming back or something in the end. A romance, who even knows? There's so much potential here. I love that I have no idea what's going to happen. That's so cool. I've actually already decided what kind of video I want to make about this show. There's a philosophical concept that I want to drop on this show, but I feel like I'm going to wait till it's over just because it could go in such a direction that my point could be completely moot by the end. So unlike Tsukigakure, no video on this one until it's over, just to save my own butt if things change later. And besides how much I love it, there's not honestly too much to say it. It's so dense with imagery and good shot composition, but we still don't know where it's going. So I can't really comment on how the whole narrative is forming, because it could just completely change in one episode, I feel like. I love watching Violet learn about people. I just have this nagging feeling it's going to end up changing. Potentially, it'll still be good, but I'm not too locked into how it is right now. But it's good. That's what matters. And finally, we'll come to the order of the shows. What is the state of the season? I would say it's getting better. There's been some shakeup in the order, everyone. Our worst show of the season, you know what it's going to be. It's Citrus. I have no more words. Go rewind and listen to every time I said rape. That's all you need to know. Darling in the Franxx is after. It's trying to do a lot of stuff, and in my opinion, it's kind of just failing almost in every way. Gaku and Babysitters, didn't decrease in quality, but everything else is starting to get actually deep and artistic, and so there's not much it can do against those when it's just the fun show. So that's number 4. Number 3, Koe wa Ameyagari no Yoni, definitely improving, getting funnier, getting a bit more dramatic. I think it could rise a bit more even if it keeps up the quality stuff. So that's number 3. Sora Yori Motoi Basho will come in at second place. It's just good. It's got good writing. The characters are fun. I'm starting to like them more and more. It's just a pleasure to watch. This show could be so much less with its concept and just be Moe Blob stuff, but it's really going above and beyond, and I love that. And finally, last, the only one I think that didn't change, actually, is Violet Evergarden. I don't see this one being dethroned unless it takes a horrible misstep or another one gets amazing. It's just such high-quality stuff in every way, and I have no idea where it's going to go, but wow, I'm so excited to see where that ends up. That is the state of the season. 3 episodes into winter 2018. Leave your comments with what you think, how wrong I am. Again, hopefully we're agreeing more, but it's always okay to not. This has been Professor Madeline. I'm so happy you're here, and I look forward to hearing from you again in 3 weeks.